All right, the Reds, me and Kev, you're absolute legends. I'm dreading this, Kev. All of us. We knew this day was nigh. It was going to be fastly approaching. Last couple of weeks, last couple of months anyway. This day was eventually, whether that be this year or next 5 years, Jurgen Klopp would eventually have left Liverpool. But Kev, are you prepared for a weekend of a lot of emotion? It's going to be a disappointing weekend, but it's will eulogise quite rightly so about Jurgen. And how are you been with?
Yeah, I've been good. No, it's not. It's been a sad week, leading up to Klopp leaving. But I keep just playing over like the good times that we had in our head, and to straighten out that Klopp has been completely honest with us from day one about how he wants to go out, and he felt the same when he was at Dortmund, and when he knows that the project is kind of over for him, he knows that the project is over for him, and that he can't take us any further mentally and physically than he can. So. But I suppose we can dwell on that a bit later, and we'll get into the eulogizing Klopp when we get later on into the show.
Yeah, quite rightly so. Anyone watching on the repeats as well, these we will timestamp it and everything, but got quite a packed show. So if you watch till the end, you're absolute bloody legends. Subscribe to obviously Anfield Road TV. Subscribe to Spider LFC as well and Spider Gaming. Kev does a lot of that on all social media platforms as well. So all of his links, if you are watching on the repeat, will be in the description as always. And we'll talk about obviously the VAR voting that will commence in the next couple of weeks. Obviously, Jurgen was asked about it in the press conference today, and he took a good 20-second pause to really control himself and what he was saying. But obviously, the voting on whether VAR might potentially be scrapped, or we'll speak about that anyway in today's episode. Arnie Schlott, and big up to, of course, who was it in the comments as well that did drop it in. Big up there, Bunkers. Big up, mates. Obviously, Arnie will be getting announced, well, more or less, as he said, today, this afternoon. He has been more or less confirmed. Just waiting on the official announcement from both Feyenoord and Liverpool. But that will be very much, if you're watching it, both clubs might have already announced it anyway. Joel Matip and Thiago Alcantara, two players with very different Liverpool careers, but two players of immense quality. We'll eulogise about those two, because quite rightly so. And as Jurgen, it was an interesting point, Kev, and chat as well. We haven't seen his press conference today, Jurgen, but it was little segments. I was watching it before we come on air. He said, more or less, Jurgen, that both of those players would have gone last year if they were a nuisance, basically. So obviously indicating the players that did leave last season were kind of more or less kicking up a fuss and really disrupting the harmony amongst the Liverpool team as well, mate. But we'll get to that in a little second, mate. But obviously, Richard Masters, obviously head of the Premier League anyway, will not be at the Manchester City game as well. Make of that.
Do tell why, Jack.
I don't know.
Do tell why. Why would he not be there?
Why
would he not want to associate himself in pictures before a big, massive hearing happens in August? Let me know. Sorry for going further back, but I had a point to prove.
Richard Masters might disappear. And
we're watching you, Richard. We're watching you. We know what you're at.
Richard, where are you? Unlucky not. Obviously, Pep Linders and obviously his backroom staff will speak about where they obviously Pep going along with Victor Matos going to Salzburg. I think it was anyway. Yeah, the Austrian side who've been very dominant in their league, and I think it's a very good move. But Kev, where do you want to start this afternoon, mate?
I'd look at the Pep Linders situation because that's not going to be on too long. But look, we all know that Klopp said that Buvac back in the day was like the brains, and Klopp just took his kind of tactician style and mixed it with his own. And then, Pep Linders brought in some of his style as well and helped us to go and win these titles and stuff like that, with his training. He had a good pressing style thing. So we can only see what Pep does when he moves to Salzburg, if he plays a similar kind of style that Liverpool played now, but probably advanced on it more now that he's not kind of having to have Klopp stop whatever his kind of style of play was. Maybe Klopp had his own. Klopp has his own ideas. for what his style of play was, and then he would take advice from his coaches left, right, and center, and implement their style of game. But now Pep is unchained, and we can see what he does with Salzburg. Really, I mean, they're going to be playing Champions League football. He's going to have a Champions League experience as a manager. And if that holds steady, let's say Arne Slot doesn't work out for Liverpool in a couple of years' time, Liverpool fans will give Arne Slot. We'll get into that in a minute. We'll talk about that in a while. But at least we know that you could rely on going back to Pep Linders or your Xabi Alonso if it doesn't work out there, or somebody like that along that ilk, because everybody's going to want the Liverpool job over the next few seasons. I'm hoping that we have another session where Arne Slot comes in and we don't have to talk about a manager for another 10 years. That'd be great, wouldn't it? I mean, that's the ideal scenario. That's what we all want. We'll all miss Jurgen, but sometimes mammies get bored and you need a new stepdaddy. You know, you know what I mean? It's the only way I can say it. Jesus, it's the only way I can think of it. You know, so and that's the only way I can see it. But look, good luck to Pep and what he's doing, and what's the other lad? Jack Robinson, is it? Jack Robinson, yeah, he's got the Bayern as well. Yeah.
I think as Klopp said in his interview today, obviously he's got a very good resume already in his young career, working at Liverpool and working at Bayern Munich at such a successful period for both of those clubs as well. So I'm saying he didn't bode well, and rightly so, mate. I think Linda's obviously he has been, as much as certain sections of our fan base don't like to give him the plaudits. I think it's, as you said, Kev, it's not just been Jurgen Klopp, it's been Victor Matos, it's been obviously Pep Linders as well in certain elements. But I think for a great coaching setup, do I think, and as I said last year, do I think Pep Linders sometimes did get a bit too involved? But at the end of the day, that's Jurgen Klopp's style. Jurgen's a good person. He's a very good man manager in terms of utilising his players.
Leaves them all to their own devices, doesn't he? He's not too controlling. No, he's got a set standard of rules, but he lets them all to their own devices until they step out of line.
Yeah, so I think he'll do extremely well. I think for the roadmap ahead for Pep Linders and obviously Victor Matos, in a couple of years, I think they might potentially be looking, obviously, in terms of the way in which the RB Leipzig and RB Salzburg manager is and the whole setup for them, might potentially be the RB Leipzig manager very soon if he does a good job anyway. So, as is obviously the Red Bull machine that it is anyway. Yeah. So we wish him all the best.
Like Barcelona B in Barcelona. Yeah, everybody takes their steps up through these teams, really.
Yeah, so as you said, Kev, you never know, Chas, maybe 5-10 years' time, Pep Linders with a bit more experience in his locker, and he learns his mistakes in the future as well, will make him an even better
because he loves this club. You can see it in his face, like Linders. He's like, Klopp is always very humble and very quiet when he talks about things, but Pep Linders is like straight. He's the guy that would be, if he was allowed to, be on Twitter just giving all the United and City fans sticks, saying shut up, or he'd be the first person to get involved with a bit of banter, Pep. I think if he could. It's just that you kind of have to hold him back when he wants to talk about Liverpool, that he loves the club so much.
100%, miss. 100% as well. But big up there, Bonkers. Big up Gary Talio.
Talio.
And Gary's going, Salah has to win the Prem with a world-class DM. Liverpool will win the Prem. Oh, Gary. It's a bit too quick, mate. But as Kev alluded to, if we knew the future, but he's going to get time. Us as a fan base, I think certain sections of our fan base, even me to an extent as well, have got to be patient. Because obviously, Kev, you know me, last year I wasn't in chat of you being a regular watcher. I was not best too pleased with Jurgen, but I think this season coincided with the right timing. As you said, Kev, he could have easily have sat on his contract, Jurgen Klopp, and taken all the money. Yeah. But I think he's going out at the right time as well. He's going now when he's on a high. He's won a trophy, the League Cup. Don't let any other rival team diminish that, because at the end of the day,
he looks tired.
He's knackered. But he charges batteries as well.
That's the sign of a passionate, proper manager for their club. Because you look at most legendary managers down through the years, and success and time shows on their face from doing the job that they do. And you can see the difference from Klopp coming in at 2015, happy-go-lucky, playing in a lesser league in Germany, where there's only a handful of teams that can actually get involved. And then coming along and then, feeling the pressures of English media, feeling the pressures of dealing with a club the size of Liverpool, then falling in love with the club and the fan base and whatever, and then his whole personality changes to become only about that fan base and pleasing that fan base, and that's all he's ever tried to do. There's been no, worry.
Wears his heart on his sleeve, don't he, mate?
Yeah, that's it. Pretty much, he does exactly what he says in the tin. Yeah. So
that's what embodies the characteristics of a great Liverpool manager. I think we've seen the characteristics of Roy Hodgson. He just didn't get Liverpool, didn't get the city, didn't get the players, and obviously he only lasted 6-7 months. And history doesn't look too kindly on Roy and some other certain managers that have come to the club as well. Souness's way of management, obviously I was very young, but Kev, you probably know a lot more. Obviously coming with an idea and it didn't quite really
Souness is very similar to Roy Keane in a way. It's the they're very aggressive fellas. They're aggressive in their nature. I think less so is Keane. I think Keane just knows how to be straight-laced and to the point without getting furious. I think it was more fury all the time from Souness and no leeway, not listening to people when they were giving him advice about stuff. I think he learned his lesson. He said that years later, he's learned his lesson from his time at Liverpool. If he went back and did it all over again, he would do it completely different. He said himself. So, he knows it himself. He's calmed down. And Jesus, the dude gave himself a coronary when he was in the club at such a young age, and had to get a bypass, So that'll just tell you, anger never helps your health situation. So that's just the way it is. So look after yourselves. Drink loads of green tea.
And have a lot of vitamin D as well.
Yeah, and if you're going to drink alcohol like me, drink it only about 4 or 5 times. I'm only joking. I do it.
As on the channel, drink responsibly.
Exactly. Those pandemic days are long behind me, where you just get bored and drink 4 days a week. Yeah.
I've been a bit of the Irish in you lot anyway.
I do,
Gary, big up, mate. Klopp should have had 3 more. He should have, Gary, but I think us as a fan base and even neutrals as well, we're competing with that lot down the motorway anyway, and whatever does the future holds, if Richard Masters and the Premier League do their job and due diligence really properly, then history might analyse this and we'll go, wow, just quicker. Big up there, Klopp as well. Big up there, Klopp. So big up there, Gary. He could have, but we're thankful for what he's done, Gary. Kev, all of us are. But we'll get to Jurgen at the back end of the show anyway. But big up there, Panov. Big up Wiggs as well. All right, gents. Shirley Anshul. We'll get straight into obviously the impending announcement. If you're watching this on the repeat, the news has probably already been announced. Obviously, as we're recording live, got a couple of tabs open. Haven't seen anything too much more from what we've seen before go on air. Might have changed, developed as we are on air. I'm excited, Kev. Obviously, with this is. I'm just made up. I think the last couple of months since we've known the news of obviously the whirlwind, would it have been the lads from Sporting Lisbon, Amadin? It wasn't to be. Would it be other managers that we've been linked with over the last 12 months? Or since Jurgen's announced his departure, Alonso will manage Liverpool one day, but it'll probably be in the next 5-10 year period. But if Ange does a very good job, I keep on calling him Ange. It might be a sign. Hopefully not. Ange is going to walk at Tottenham. That's another show for another night anyway. Tottenham, Everton mentality.
I'm Ernst Slot. Good day.
Let's tell you what, it's bad enough people trying to understand Scousers and even me as well. But Kev, chat, excited for Arne Slot. I was watching a couple more tactical videos, as you want to call it, in the modern day media world. It's going to be interesting. It will take time. But I'm just made up that he's had the confidence, because many of the managers, as we've seen over the last couple of months, have not had the bottle. You look at Bayern Munich, all the managers saying, nah, don't want a piece of that. Even at other clubs, Manchester United, for example, numerous managers turning them down. But he's jumped at the opportunity, and time will tell. But he's got the whole backing of the Kop. He's got every backing of Liverpool fan. And even when it will become tough, Kev, in the next 12 months, 24 months, that's when we need to get behind him even more.
Yeah, the one thing I would say to anybody who's going to try and judge Arne when he comes in straight away. He is not Jurgen Klopp. Please don't compare him to Jurgen Klopp. And the first thing you have to think of when it comes to him coming in is Jurgen Klopp is leaving. This guy was the only guy that had the proper pair of balls to come in after Jurgen Klopp and take over the realms. And that's a hard thing to do after a manager is absolutely adored by the fans. So you have to give him, like, he's got the stones and the cojones to do it. So, and he's doing it with confidence as well. Like, he knows what he wants to do. He knows what kind of team he wants to build. He wanted to get to a situation where there's a team could financially support him in a way to get the higher quality versions of his players, let's say. And some of his players might come with him as well. So the main thing you have to look at is, if you think of his time at Feyenoord, just I'll kind of briefly go over that. When he came into Feyenoord, when we're not really a buy-in club, but he sees what doesn't work for him and he sees what does work for him. So depending on who's there and who doesn't work for him in the training, in the pre-season, he went and he bought 17 players in his first season and won the league. You know, and Feyenoord were nowhere near winning the league for a long time, but he just decided, like, no, this is what I need, and he was backed. So as long as he's backed, which I think he will be, if you think of it this way, there's 190 million coming in from the Champions League spot, another 25 to 30 million from our Europa League exploits, plus the sponsorship money
from where to give Matip and Thiago a contract.
There's at least over 300 million to spend straight away, and I think that the owners are going to start reacting now. Mainly because there's talk on in Liverpool about those bus trams, those bus type trams that are supposed to be like a train that are going to go to John Lennon Airport, into the city centre and out to Anfield as well, and Goodison as well at the same time so it allows us to build more. So there's going to be a plan put in place. I think they're going to have to redevelop the COP now with the Kenny Dalglish at the same time for it to work in the way they want to do it. So that's what the chitter chatter is about. And if they do that, that money is going to be needed in about 2 to 3 years' time. So the owners are going to want to put in a whole spine there again. I have an awful feeling we're going to start to see a changed spine again inside the Liverpool team. I think he'll go straight for a DM and another midfielder and maybe a centre back or two. So we'll see.
It's that just indicates, mate, and you're spot on there, that he is proactive. He's not a manager to sit on his hands and even Jurgen Klopp in his press conference today, he said himself, could I have won more if he was a bit more reactionary? He said yes, but at the end of the day, I done what I done, but Jurgen, don't diminish what you've already won, what you've won, because we live in an age of now of just in general in the whole world, everyone wants everything now and instantaneously as well. But Jurgen, we are very thankful for what you've done. But I think, as you said, Kev, fundamentally comes down to Arne Slot and his technical team will certainly have been already watching religiously every single Liverpool game from probably the last 4 or 5 year period. He'll know the ins and outs of every single player before he's even took a training session with Liverpool as well. I think it's going to be exciting. I think the interesting one but we'll speak about that in the coming weeks as well. We'll do plenty of shows. Obviously, how we utilise Trent. We spoke about that this week as well. So interesting times ahead, Chas. The Arne Slot revolution will be commencing very soon. Anyone just tuning in or whatnot, we're just waiting on the impending announcement. But it'll probably be certainly after kickoff. That will be done just out of respect for both Feyenoord and, of course, Jurgen Klopp as well. I think it'll be very wrong. But we know Arnie's going to be the new
His football is very exciting to watch as well. Very exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, so big up there, chat. So we'll go straight into Joel Matip and Thiago chat. But first, we'll get to Wiggs' comment there. So, anyways, if you've got any comments or whatnot, please do get them involved, chat. Make sure you are smashing a like as well on the video. Massively does help out on Facebook or YouTube. Interesting stories about Amarin was ready to be the LFC manager with us ready to pay 10 million release until the sporting president slapped another 10 million on the tag. That's why we backed out as well. Yeah, it's like the Nabil Fekir saga, Wiggs. We'll never find out unless Amarin was to leave sport and then he personally come out with it.
I think Edwards had a big say in that too, to be honest with you, because I think that Edwards, as well as Edwards and Klopp, had to get along and do their jobs together, and Edwards is the guy that found players and is the fact finder and the statistician. Klopp, Klopp wanted more control. That's why he was a manager, and I think that's why he prefers Arne Slot, because he wants to just deal with the football side and not the full management of the club side of things. So he will leave that entirely to Edward and Julian Ward and Hughes and co. So I think, they're all going to work with each other in tandem. I think what Liverpool needed was somebody to fit the slice of pie, or the pizza slice, and they didn't need somebody to come in and be half a pizza over other pizzas that's stale underneath. There's no point in having them there. So I think that Amram probably wanted a bit more control as well within the club, as well as that, and didn't know that he had to fully work in tandem with Edwards, not understanding what he brings to the club and what his position does. Because I'll say straight off, in Edwards we trust. I think he's been a brilliant man, football thinker and a player finder for us for seasons now. And I think we dipped off when he left in the quality of the players that we brought in. So I think that we need that perfect tactician to come in Slot, and a good manager in player manager, and just to deal with the squad and all of that. And Edwards and co will deal, obviously Slot will have influence on the younger squads and the younger team, as most managers will, but that's all he'll have to look after. No more internal, external stuff. And, let's hope that you'll see less pressure on the man as he comes into the role, and Michael Edwards does his job, and we're all happy.
Yeah, the Moneyball men, but it's so important, the structure, Kevin, and just the structure. We spoke about this for since Jurgen Klopp's been in at the football club, mate. But it's an important point, and as you said there, Wiggs, as Kev alluded to, the structure. I think you'll find many managers out there in world football that want to come in, a bit like Jose Mourinho, want to do whatever, everything involved at the club, a bit like Jurgen Klopp as well. I think once he sits back down, says he probably will admit to himself, he probably got a bit too involved with absolutely everything. Hence why I think he's absolutely knackered and he was doing too much. But I'm excited, 100% as well. But nice one for that, Wiggs. In terms of going into Joel Matip and Thiago Alcantara, mate, Joel Matip, he has been my favourite Liverpool player in this period of Jurgen Klopp. I think, obviously, I loved Daniel Agger as a kid. I think Daniel Agger in the modern era of football, if he wasn't injured, he was 10 years ahead of the game, really. Hence why Barcelona tried to sign Daniel Agger. But Joel Matip, Kev, and chat, for me, absolute bloody bargain. On the market, he's probably worth 50 million and all that. I think. Oh, yeah, what's that, Kev? There we go. I think, yeah. Sorry for any United fans. Well, not sorry. But yeah, we enjoyed those games. But Joel Matip,
season banter.
Joel Matip chat. I think I cast my mind back to the classic Joel Matip mazy runs as well. It's stepping from the midfield, from the defence to the midfield and then attack. My favourite goal from Joel Matip, of course, we all remember, was that goal against Leeds. I wish he had a lot more of them, because he just manoeuvred into the box, Kevin.
Yeah, exactly.
But not just even
very messy.
But he was one of the best centre halves in the whole of Europe, mate, in the last 5-6 year periods. If it wasn't for injuries, I think he'd be certainly in contention for teams of the season as well when you look at FIFA Pro 11 awards as well.
I'd say, Jack, at the whole, and somebody could say, tell me different, but for me, Virgil van Dijk and Joel Matip were the best, would get in team of the year, best defensive unit for every year for about 4 years straight. I think, and I think the more injuries that Matip picked up, the more he wasn't looked at it as often. Even if I go back to prime Gomez and Virg in 2018, was it? When they were fantastic together as well, that season that we missed out on the Champions League with Real Madrid, and then won it the following year. But Joe got injured when he was taken up by Ben Mee and then by Raheem Sterling, making the injury worse. But it was, you go back to then, guys have been phenomenal for us. Joel Matip is one of the best. If I wanted to go favourite, this is my logic in this. If we're going an actual free transfer, yeah, he's the best free transfer we probably had in history. Him and James Milner, But then you look again. And this is where it comes into Gary Macker was brilliant. He's down the list now for me, though. Andy Robertson is a free for me.
Supposedly
because
free.
It was a free. It was a free transfer. It was just fake. Yeah. So they bought Kevin Stewart and in the exact same 10-minute period that we bought Andy Robertson for 8 million. You know, the two boys just went across the way one night. See you later, good luck and all.
I don't even know where. I don't even know where he is.
I don't even know where he is now, but we got 8 million from and we paid 8 million for Andy Robertson in the space of the same 10-minute period while changing over the papers. It was a free transfer. The lads just didn't want to be swaps, so that they didn't show up on swaps and the thing. Oh yeah, we just swapped Kevin Stewart for that. It was probably just to save face of Kevin Stewart, really, to say that he wasn't a swap. Andy Robertson didn't care. He was coming the other way to Liverpool. You know, so yeah, for me, Andy Robertson is the greatest free. I'll always count him as that technically. And then after that, I'd have Matip and Milner, yeah, and Gary Maka.
Big Joel Matip. I think the quality will be missed, and that's why it's important. I think all of us, hence why we've mentioned with Arne Slot, we'll speak a bit in a bit later as well. But the priority should be, I think, not just even one centre half. I think we need maybe 2 or 3. I think we need to get that quality in a centre half that can play either left back or right back. Someone that's more very agile as well. So that's the job for Arne and the boys at the top of running the football club. But Thiago, as Jurgen said in his press conference today, history will look back on one of the greatest midfielders of our generation. But if he wasn't injured in his career, we knew exactly. I remember doing the videos all those years ago, speaking about Thiago, my excitement. But it was a risk that was, it was worth taking, Kev. Because when you look at his quality at Bayern Munich, I think he only completed over 2 seasons at Bayern. I think he only got over like 38 games, 35 games in a calendar season. So it's one of them, mate. How do you judge his career at Liverpool? Is it a bit of what if?
For Thiago?
Yeah.
Yeah, for Thiago, it's... yeah, look, the dude was the most gifted player we had in the team. On the ball, with his vision, if he just had the body that could keep up with it. You know, so the one thing I'm glad about this is is he on 200 grand a week, 250 grand a week or something like that?
Yeah,
you know, that's so I mean that's
spent 40 million in his time at Liverpool.
And so I mean that's you know, that's we're going to get that money is now available, you know, for Annam to be distributed out.
That will be Trent's new contract. That'll be.
I think that's their contracts topped up, and we don't have to spend any more money on that. I think, you know, you've also got Matip in there, because I think Matip was on like 140. I think he went up to 40, 116 his last year or something. So you've that money now freed up. So that's the new lads' contracts and the new lads' wages. Plus, you know, you've all the sponsorship deals coming in and stuff like that. At least Liverpool are making real sponsorship deals. You know what I mean? But so with real companies that are more than 4 months old. But anyway, we'll we all see this. Why don't they? But it's, you know what I mean? But yeah, look, Thiago leaving, gifted man. Obviously, it was his goal against Porto, the one, the drifty one. It was a fantastic goal. Really drilled it down. Yeah, that was beautiful. Yeah, but just some of his passes to create chances. The game against it was the 4 or 5-0 against United. Yeah, where he just absolutely. He just dominated him, didn't he? He just like made him look. Yeah, but we need another one of those, and I think we have somebody like that in Maka, just not with that kind of vision. I think we need another person like that in the midfield, and we're going to see that kind of change. I'm going to be honest with you. I think that if Arne Slot is going to be ruthless, you're going to see an even bigger change than what you expect in this summer. I think he might put Harvey Elliott on the market, Curtis Jones on the market. I think some of these lads. I think one of. I don't think Gravenberch and Gakpo might go because they're Dutch and he wants to see what a season with them would be like, and he knows what they're about.
We did. I don't know if you've seen the article. I read the whole article yesterday from David Orsi. Check it out, chaps. Anyway, it's very good. The good work he does. But I think it was a report come out yesterday that supposedly that Liverpool don't want to be getting rid of Luis Diaz. I think
I wouldn't either.
Years of doing YouTube, and we all consume media as football fans as well. I think it might just certain points you wouldn't be publicly saying that you want to be losing a player, because obviously that diminishes the quality, the overall value of a player. So especially going into a transfer window, especially Diaz's father very much eulogising about Barcelona the last 12 months.
Somebody needs to shut that man up. Seriously. Or the lad should have just held on to him for a couple of months long, because that was such.
He just needs.
He just doesn't stop talking, does he? He doesn't stop talking.
we all have those family members anyway. I even have those mates as well. It's all right, Kev. But it's going to be interesting in terms of, as you said, I think Nunez will be staying. I think you look at Jimenez, the Mexican striker, and that does play for Feyenoord. A bit of a.
I think he'd jump at the chance to be number 2 to Nunez, and then take 2 months to probably outplace him, unless Nunez steps up under Schlatt. You know, so look at Andy Robertson came in. We had what's his name? I forgot his name already. Get out, Manchester United! Get out!
Alberto Moreno.
Moreno, yeah. You knew straight away who I was talking about when I did it. But it was it took Robertson less than a few weeks just to kind of oust him out of his position. Really, you know, we all knew that he was going to get replaced anyway. But like Klopp was at least being loyal, and that was one thing you have to talk about Klopp with that, is that he was loyal to his players, to a fault even. But you know, look, at the same time, Luis Diaz, I think he should be played more centrally. I don't think he's suited to the wing. I think with Arne Slot coming in, he mostly plays a 4-2-3-1 formation that doubles back into a 4-3-3, 4-2-2 press, or 4-4-2 press, and you know, it's going to benefit anybody that's sitting in the middle of the park. And I think Luis Diaz likes to press in the middle of the park. Gakpo does. I think you're going to see some positional changes, really. You know, Mo Salah's going to be playing further towards the edge of the box rather than out the wing. If he is going to start playing Trent up the right, you're going to have them as proper wing backs again. Because have you noticed, or anything, like anybody noticed a change in football in the last few seasons, especially in the last couple of years since Trent has moved into the alternate, or what would you call it? The inverted role. When was the last time you seen him going up the wing and crossing the ball?
It's been a while.
That he hasn't been crossing it from the central attacking midfield role. That's just been looping it down, getting cleared out all the time. None of them have been getting to the byline.
We've obviously the best of Robbo in this new system.
And how often have you seen Salah in the last 2 seasons running back towards his halfway line to receive the ball because he's got somebody on his back all the time? So that just goes to show you that when we change that role, it's not benefited Mo Salah at all. Yet he's still trying, you know. If anything, he's been outmarked 2-1 every single time. So it's
more years out of Salah that way as well. Don't ever sell him, just stay up that other end of the pitch, and we can get some more capable midfielders that are a bit more athletic, got about shift around the pitch so much more quicker as well.
Yeah, we need to pack that midfield a bit more, and if it means that, you know, the whoever we're going to bring in as a DM needs to drop back in between the lads in Verge and whoever's going to be, and Ibu or Kwanzaa, whoever it is, or whoever we buy in, and they can drop back in like that, and it makes a 3-man backline going forward, and we're sitting there with 7 lads up the park ready to cause mayhem. That's what you want again. You want all of these boys not passing along the line the front. You want them inside the wall, in between them, and that's what we haven't done for a while. Remember, look at Bobby Firmino's goal against, or Mo Salah's goal against Newcastle a couple of seasons back. The one where he did the flicks. Look at the interchange and passes of triangles happened there. And then Bobby with that, you know, Johan Cruyff, half Cruyff, trying to flick onto Salah going through on goal. We haven't scored goals like that in a couple of seasons. And not many people have noticed. It's because we're just passing it along the edge with no players.
With Arnie,
that won't happen. Yeah, as he's going to be doing that.
It literally transitions from defence, midfield, attack, within a matter of 3-4 passes, very direct, and it will be exciting as well. Big up there, Panov. A good thing about Edwards coming back is hopefully sentimentality will go out the window. If your time's up, it's up, and it's time to move on. No need to do that, in my opinion, as well. 100% there, Panov. Big up there, Wiggs. Big up to Jamie Phillips. You've been getting some heat from Top Reds, certain bigger content creators on here. It's sad sometimes. It's Wiggs. You don't know how long you've been watching.
What's happened
there? I'll speak after the show anyway. But yeah, big up there, Jay.
Why not? If we support Jay, we could do it.
Yeah. We love Jay anyway. And even I've had it, Wiggs, I've done 6-7 years, whatever it has been on YouTube. I just I can't even be asked getting into all the nonsense on YouTube. Everyone's views and opinions and should be. If you don't like someone's opinion, if you don't like mine, or if you don't like Kev's, just switch it off. No one's forcing you to watch any of our content. But some of the stuff I've come out over the last couple of years as well. It's part of being a football fan as well. opinions do swing from left to right as well. That you're allowed to have different views, and if everyone said the same opinion, I think the world would be a very boring place anyway. But yeah, it is what it is. But Jay, I did message Jay anyway privately, and he's got my back, and anyway, I know Kev will be as well.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But big up there, Jay, and big up to everyone that has different views on YouTube as well. Just don't let it get to you as well. If you've got your own views, and just make sure, like as everyone says, just articulate it in your own way as well. And yeah, because the world, and especially in relation to Liverpool content as well, if everyone said and the same thing, the YouTube as a platform will be a very boring place anyway as well. But big up there, Jay. Big up Wiggs as well. Big up there, mate, as well. I'm going to miss the Matip funny outbursts on the pitch, comedy gold as well.
I'm just going to say it. Matip sounded exactly like Bruno from Sacha Baron Cohen's. If you just watch Bruno from Sacha Baron Cohen and then listen to Matip, they're exactly the same person, even though they don't look the same or act the same.
I just think, you remember, Kev or Chas, remember when Matip slapped about 3 of the players on the head in the Champions League game? Hendo turns around to him and goes, like, he's a great character. You'd love to. I'm pretty sure he doesn't bevy anyway, Joel Matip, but it'd be a right bloody laugh anyway. I bet you can laugh even on podcasts. I remember obviously in COVID time as well, in terms of when all the players were doing the Zooms, and he was a good laugh on them as well. So it'll be a character that will solely be missed. But we've certainly we've certainly got a couple of a good joke as well in the changing room. You do need a couple of characters like that as well. 8 million showed, 100% nice.
No, it actually was 10 million. There was something happened if we didn't win the Premier League within 2 seasons or something that they wouldn't get the 10 million. But I think we won the Champions League, so we had to pay a small bit extra. Yeah. So if I remember rightly, but you're right. So you're right. The initial deal was 10 million, but they didn't get it.
Breaking. Allegri has been sacked by Juventus.
That's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously it's amazing when he can't pay off the refs. But yeah. Motta obviously will be the new manager.
Patch replacement if they want to.
Who?
Allegri.
Poch.
Chelsea, but his Poch has been doing well for Chelsea. But the Chelsea fans still want his head.
If I don't even think Chelsea fans even know what they're doing at the minute, mate. They've sacked all the football and sod Chelsea. But it wouldn't surprise me. Oh, new manager.
They kept a fella in there that said 4-4, or as he say,
4-7-7 or something.
What was he saying? Yeah.
Todd Bowley. He said 4-5-5.
4-5-3 or something. That was something. What he said.
But yeah, big up there, Alexander. Big up Klopp, Thiago, Matip. All the best to them and their future endeavours as well. 100%. I hear Man United are looking for roofers as their new sponsor. Big up there, Matthias. I just love it's the proper Geordie like humour. There's a fella, did you see Kev this weekend?
I seen him.
He went in with flippers and a snorkel and everything. It's the most.
The funniest thing I want to see at the start of the season is if they get sponsored by that company Kayak.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to let them know. Yeah. Oh, it's nuts.
Just mad. All the money that they've got. I feel sorry for the season ticket holders that have actually going to absolutely 11 it down. They have to sit under that roof as well. It's dangerous, really. I want to see Arnie play with more men in the midfield. Hate seeing our midfields not bossing.
Don't worry, I'll get Jack to say Arna before the night's out. Instead of Arnie, because he's that Schwarzenegger that's coming.
Arnie.
Get to the get to the training ground.
Get to the halfway line. Big up Arnie. Arnie's dead. Big up there, Dean. How are we, mate? Over a good day, mate. Thank you for tuning in. All you absolute legends. Jack, hope you're okay. Not too bad, lads. Plodding on, as always. So it's sad how fast it comes around for Jurgen's last game. Going to be emotional on Sunday. I'm going to sing Jurgen's song non-stop until he leaves the pitch. More than a manager. Yeah, he's not just a manager for all of us. Every single red round the world as well. He embodies everything about Liverpool. He did it at his time at obviously Mainz as well. He embodied every fabric of that club. Borussia Dortmund as well. We're all going to be in bits. I'll be doing a watch long tomorrow as well. I'll be crying like a big baby. I think all of us will, because he's not just a manager. He's like a father figure to every single one of us really, and he's took us on a journey through our best moments as a Liverpool fan. Panov, it's going to be mad here on Sunday outside my house. I can see the streets lined with fans, flares. But Panov, enjoy it, mate, as well.
Panov, I'll be at the 12th man, dude. And so I'm over there like every second week now. I can say hello and talk to you at the gate, man. If you're over there, just let me know. Because I'm at the 12th man every time I'm over there, which is only around the corner from you.
Of course, you're in a boozer, Kev.
I watch. In fairness, the last few times I went, I haven't partaken in any beverages. I'm on a keto diet. I'll have you know.
There we go.
I can only drink straight whiskey and vodka.
There we go, lad. So yeah, Panov, we'll try and organise that as well in the future, mate. I know you don't have social media, so we'll sort something else. I read some big up there, Matthias. I read some football analytics that he said that he's that the reason why Arsenal are getting much better this season, right, of course, but the way they use Kai Havertz as the Roberto Firmino type. Go, Kev.
We were saying that at the start of the season, Jab. We were saying it last season. I said Arteta is wanting to be a Klopp so much, and he's not even using half the tactics that Pep uses, but he's so focused on Liverpool's style of old play. I said about 3 seasons ago, I said Kai Havertz is not a striker, but he could be a perfect Bobby Firmino replacement. And not for us, but I said that type of player. They said he just doesn't score many goals, but he can link up play pretty well. And he's a big dude, like. So, and you don't notice it when he's when he's on the pitch himself until he's next to people, but he's a tall dude. But look, that he's spot on there. Like, pretty much Arteta has turned Arsenal into Liverpool of a few years ago in the style of play, where they say it, how they play football, everything. So, which is why, I mean, it's just Klopp would have to rebuild the team from entirety to do that again. So it's a good thing that Slot is coming in, and there's probably more emphasis now to spend more money.
Yeah, it's I fully expect, just watch it, Kev, just to rattle the Arsenal fans even more in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Pep leaves, and they'll just get Arteta back in anyway. And would he leave Arsenal? Probably, yeah, because he'll be getting paid a bloody fortune to be the manager of Manchester City as well. But yeah, he was
about to leave a couple of seasons or so ago when he was going to Barcelona. Remember that?
Potentially.
Because all the talk of him going to Barcelona, he says, I'm not going anywhere. So,
and as you know, regulars of the channel, I rate Kai Havertz. I know that's very against.
It's not in the way he's been played. Yeah.
Yeah, it's as you said, mate, and as I said there, he just needed a team, and Chelsea didn't suit him. Look at the Kai Havertz by Leverkusen at that time when he broke through in Germany. He was exceptional, and he's still an exceptional footballer. And he's got every good skill set to thrive in that Arsenal.
It's the same as Cole Palmer when he ends up at Liverpool there in the next season or so. Yeah.
Oh, I'd love Cole Palmer.
I would take him on that. If I was to replace anybody if we were going 4-2-3-1, I was replacing anybody on the right hand side of that right attacking mid place. He's the perfect choice to link.
At least say all Palmer all day.
Yeah. We're not going with 4-3-3 traditional anymore, because I mean Slot only plays that in certain aspects. He can change his formation as it's moving. So he allows these players to change between the right attacking mid and right wing position roles, depending on how tight the defense is and how wide the defense is. So that's a great ability to have as a manager to teach players. So if we're able to alternate like that throughout the game, then we're not really playing any formation. We're playing about 3 formations in one, which would be great.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Big up there, Bunkers. Robin van Persie has been appointed head coach of Heerenveen. Hopefully I've said the rest. The club announced on Friday. By all accounts, Bonkers is very highly regarded in Holland anyway. Another coach for the future. Obviously, you get this. He was a very technical player, Robert van Persie. Anyway, Arsenal fans still fuming. I
think Van Persie was Bobby Firmino with the ability to score goals, more selfish in a way. He had the skill to hold the ball up at the edge of the box, but his technical ability on volleys and hits and stuff like that towards a goal were just instinctive. Whereas Bobby was less selfish, so you'd always hold it up, flick it, and look for somebody to run through. So I think they were very, very similar players. Only for Van Persie's ability to score was ridiculously good.
Should have had more. I remember that argument him and Gerrard had on the pitch, and Gerrard turned around and goes, "Where's your Champions League, son?" Sod you, Robin. But yeah, all the best to him anyway. But big up there. Yeah, it's As I think, being on YouTube long enough, Winks and chat, you'll know you're not always going to please everyone on YouTube. But I just keep myself to myself. Same with Kev as well. We'll get on with anyone as long as they're sound and get on with everyone as well. And you can have different opinions about football as well.
100%.
It's not your opinion means more than ours. It's sound. If we disagree with you,
just do what I like do, lads. I rarely lose an argument when it comes to football because I only use facts and stats. I just use stats and facts. I don't use my own opinion. And if I use that, you can never lose an argument. So I'm just like, lads, work away. And I step in and say, actually, that's wrong. Like your man Oscar out of what's it called? Out of the Office, is it? He said everything's like actually, but anyway, no. It's just the saying. Use stats, you'll never lose an argument.
Yeah, so big up to everyone that is producing great content out there for every single one of you as well. Matip's confirmed leaving. Yeah, it's more or less gone now, mate. Besides, yeah. So, we've mentioned Thiago, Matip. We mentioned Arne Schloss. We mentioned VAR, Kev.
We haven't yet. No.
Chat, we'll go straight into this segment as well. Looks like, as we said at the top of the show, looks like in the next couple of weeks, post the end of the season, I think it's around June time, there will be an official voting proceeding about the VAR, the use of VAR in the Premier League. It could potentially looks like if the majority of teams think they need 15 or 16, it was 14, whatever it is, the overall majority of that vote, so you potentially might be looking at scrapping it. The way I look at it, Kev, and chat, let us know your thoughts on VAR, is as we all know, every football fan in England knows, even in League Two and League One and every pyramid of English football, is you watch the referees in European football, there's never an issue. But if there is, they communicate it effectively, really. But when it comes to the Premier League and the use of VAR, as Jurgen said today, it's an absolute bloody mess. And he said he would vote against VAR and he would vote to get it scrapped in England because there's no repercussions for these referees. The technology should be there, and especially the automated offside that's coming in, which should have been in place this season as well. It's just an absolute farce, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, it is. Well, look, it's not down to the technology because the technology is spot on. It's down to the people using it. We all knew this. We all knew this from day one. We've seen it. If you on my channel, if you open up my channel on YouTube, there's a still of me when I still had my blonde hair before I even went into the full mohawk. I was just after the mohawk, and I had to go, and it says, and this is a few years ago, and it says, it's something about I think I say VAR on one of me videos, and in there I said how it works, and I said the World Cup style and mixed with the allowances that you see in the Eredivisie league, I said makes for the perfect conjunction point for VAR to be able to work. All you have to do is make the line slightly thicker to allow more running time for the striker, because every single player is getting caught offside by a toe or something like that. The human body can't be that precise. This is the whole point. You can't judge the human body on a still picture being that precise when it has to be done by movement. So when a movement happens, you have to judge, put in the science if you want to. Oh, what speed is he running?
And you've got to take into account the frames of the cameras and everything.
Exactly. So you've all of that. But if you've got an automated system in place that can read the speed of the person that they're going to qualify what's offside and what's not, then that's a more fairer solution, so which is good. So I'm glad that the World Cup stuff is coming in. Another reason, if they want somebody to man it, they need to have somebody from Hawkeye or whoever's doing the technology to come in and run it. Do it all by hand, all holding it away from the referees, not to say anything. The referees should just be there to go, I'll confirm that. They should just be a confirmation point. They should not have any control over the technology whatsoever. Leave the technicians do it to a point where he says, this is the exact frame that I can't get no more of it. This is the one you're going to have to go by. And the referee will say, okay, yeah, I agree. And then that's it. It can't be the other way around where he says, no, I want to go by this one. But your man is like, maybe you could tweak it a bit. No. And they cut out these guys, so these guys are just there for show. And if the technology breaks down, you don't want it to be like that. You want it to be in their hands because they run the technology, create the technology. And you want multiple confirmation points in the referees and the third party outside, the litigator. So to come in and do that, and that's what they're talking about. Now with the automated system, you might need that as many, but you still need 3 of these guys in a room to be able to do it. just don't leave it in the hands of the PGMOL, because I've never said corrupt about a referee or anything like that in an English league. I've seen it happen in Italian leagues. I've seen it happen in Spanish leagues, and you don't see it too much. It's been the odd time it's happened in the English league to do with players and stuff like that. But it really did feel like there was really strange decisions going on in the last couple of seasons with regards to referees, whether it's down to incompetence or whether it's down to influence. So it's one or the other, because it couldn't be just like a mistake. Maybe 5% of them are mistakes.
It doesn't help, mate, when you've got like these referees in England getting flown out to Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and like it doesn't help. Like it doesn't look good. As is the strong gold. Everyone goes on about the great, how great Fergie was. He was one of the greatest managers we've ever had. But to say that he wasn't getting involved with the referees as well, referees were absolutely petrified of Ferguson. Like he was like literally headmaster in a school or whatnot. You were petrified of him. He had that much of a stronghold, Ferguson.
Yeah.
On the refereeing organisation,
and then you see no affiliation from what's his name, what's the head of the PGMOL, Howard Webb. I was trying to say Mark Webb there for a second, but Howard Webb. But yet you see him and then some of the senior members of the refereeing thing at pull down session in Manchester United's ground. You know, you can't be, you have to be completely impartial from the scenario. You should put on your uniform, come in like you're coming out of a bubble, go onto the pitch, go back into your bubble and leave without any contact with anybody to make it fair. You know, that's the way. Another way that could be done as well, Jack, is rotation of FIFA sanctioned referees. So you could have some of the best referees from Spain, some of the best referees from Italy, some of the best referees from Jordan, just rotating every couple of weeks between all the
that's what we all would do as football fans. Like, and fair enough, there might be the odd Liverpool referee that might support them in Italy or whatever. But we pride ourselves as a whole collective in the Premier League. Our league is the best. I'm not having the Serie A merchants and the Bundesliga merchants going, our league's the best. It isn't. Apart from Real Madrid and Barcelona, when they eventually get back to where they are, those two are on there, and that's a whole conversation in itself as well. How much of a stronghold they've got already in their league, both of them. But if we pride ourselves of having the best league, but having the best managers, we should have the best referees in the whole of Europe. We make so much money as a whole organisation, the Premier League. Go out there and get the best referees. But there's no accountability for these referees. And they're human, as is human error. Sometimes referees do make mistakes. But as you said there, Kev, if there was a rotation of referees or like a points like tally or a table or whatnot, I tell you now, I bet you there's some capable referees in League Two that don't get a sniff because they are not in the refereeing clique or the referee fraternity or whatever you want to call it, of, he's my mate, so I'm going to promote him to the Palace game versus Man United, or X, Y, and Z. But it's a close shot really at the top of the Premier League when it comes to the PGMOL as well. So it's, I'll scratch your back and you can scratch mine as well. But sadly it is. But as Wiggs said there, VAR isn't the problem, alluding to what you said there, Kev. It's the referees using it. Update the system, get separate company to run it on a contract basis. If they mess up, put it on for a tender through another company as well. Yeah, 100% there.
Or retrain the referees. Retrain them, and also take away south and north and south, and take away rivalries as well. So if somebody, I don't think anybody that's a Premier League referee should have any affiliation to any Premier League club whatsoever. If I had my way, I would like them to have no affiliation with football whatsoever. You know, that they just come in there to do their job, and it's not going to make a difference to them what the result happens or whatever. You know, I mean, even Forest said themselves that they were really upset in one game because the decision that was gave against them a few weeks ago was done with a Luton Town referee sitting there in the thing making that decision for him. And like, if he was to make that decision, Forest get back into the game and Luton Town would end up going down. You know, so there's a number of these kind of scenarios can happen. We get a lot of Manchester referees as well in our games.
Well, it's where all the funding is really for the
Yeah.
referees as well. But that just goes to show the English football game as well in terms of the FA and people that run the game as well. We will conclude the next 2-3 minutes anyway. Chat. We've been going for an hour. Very much, but there'll be plenty of shows. And me and Kev, obviously,
Yeah.
Kev will be down this weekend doing a couple of lives as well. So
Yeah.
good to get you involved. But let's get to everyone's comments as well. We'll be doing plenty of Jurgen Klopp videos as well, eulogising about Jurgen. So get a couple of panelists on as well and telling their best moments and your best moments being a Liverpool fan under Jurgen. Agree pan off that Spurs goal in the Arsenal. City penalties were put in tip of the iceberg as well. And even, as Kev alluded to there, the way in which is it the what's that thing, the butterfly effect, really.
Oh, yeah.
The way in which Aston Villa, they would have been in the Championship and they wouldn't even have been in the Premier League. Was it 2 seasons back when Sheffield United scored? Like, literally the ball was in the goal, but after the game, it was a guaranteed goal for Sheffield. But would have Villa survived? If buts and maybes, really. We'll never truly know. But they're in the Champions League now as well, so it's mad. There's not just repercussions just for those teams, 2 teams involved. It relegates and promotes certain teams that probably shouldn't really be in the league as well, but it is what it is. Big up there, Mark. How are you, mate? Too many bad decisions this season, though, 100%. Panov, all good, Mark. I've got my community tomorrow. We're having a garden party after, so happy days there, Panov. Well, enjoy that, mate, and hopefully the weather does stay quite bright in sunny Liverpool anyway. So enjoy that, mate. Hopefully it all goes well. What really surprised me is that it isn't mentioned much that the Premier League have broken all records this season when it comes to injuries and fatigue. The next season, it is more matches as well. Yeah, Kev, as Jurgen Klopp has been one of the pioneers in English football, every rival fan thinks he's moaning, but he's only moaning for the sake of the players as well, don't we? Like,
he is. You can complain all you want. No, Arteta's complaining about it. So Klopp was complaining about it for a while, saying you can't have these kind of games. And first of all, like Klopp has gone after the real culprit, which is stupid international friendlies. They shouldn't have them. Maybe one every 2 seasons, or every 2 years they could do international friendlies to build up a team, or do it during the summer, when there's no competitions on. They can work on tactics then, work on the break in January, stuff like that. There's plenty of times to do it. But now they've got these friendly leagues and there's too much going on with the football. But it's all out the money maker for the TV, and Klopp sees it. Like, they're breaking players. So there's a lot more people coming out all the time saying about how much it's just destroying the careers of players. It's fatigue, and it's not allowing them any more time with their families anymore because they've got so many commitments and stuff like that. And you can't have happy players when in a scenario if they're not winning things all the time, but yet still have to work their arses off to do stuff. It's nuts.
It's just even little things like that, like how it just goes to show how much, as Matthias said there, like the extra minutes if a game goes on into the 100th minute. Like, what the Premier League, well, you do know, but you just can't be asked. Like, say if you're playing a London team and the last train's at like 10:30, but the game goes over 15 minutes. They don't care about the fans. As we know, not just the Liverpool fans, but the overall fans. It's the fans that are suffering for every single football club year on year. The prices are getting hiked up even more, and nothing will stop until fans actually get together. If the fan collective come together in relation to VAR, I think it will get changed overnight, Kev. And if all the fans in the Premier League, like we did with the Super League, just said after this season, the final whistle of the Premier League, every footballing organisation, fan organisation for every league up and down the country in the Premier League and every league in the football pyramid said, like, enough's enough. We need an inquest. We need an evaluation, a re-evaluation of very much the standard of officiating in the English football as well, because it's not good enough. And we demand better as well.
Yeah, I think all the fan associations that have like places on league boards and stuff like that, or the club boards and stuff like that, I think they need to really step up with other members from other boards around and go and do that, because it's only them that can start this process. Us holding banners out and all of that can only do so much. I think that these guys that actually have a say within the club now, that have placements on boards and things like that, I think they've got every angle or every opportunity to be able to go and do it for us, as long as they they ask the fans first, do you want to do this? And they'll say, yeah. And we say, yeah, we'll represent you, we'll go. They're almost like a union in a way for the fan base. if you think of it that way, you know, they're the ones that are the voice speaking directly to the board and stuff like that. So yeah, you know, it's down to them really to do it. If the fan base wants it and they make their voices known, these guys will step up. I'm sure of it. But it needs them all to do it in all aspects of the footy pyramid. But at the same time, you have a lot of fan bases out there that just won't care because a rival team is you know, being affected more of it than that, and that suits them down to the ground. So it becomes very fickle in a way. Instead of being good for the overall game, it becomes just about individual dislikes of teams. And sometimes you need to put that aside for a second and get the right job done.
Tribalism, yeah.
Like, I didn't mind the fact. I know a lot of people. I know it's down to a money issue and whatever. I didn't mind the fact that the tickets went up by 2% or whatever it was this season because it's only about £3 or £4 per ticket or something like that. I know it's not much to some people, it's a lot to other people or whatever like that. But if it keeps us within the black and not the red, then there's no issue there. But everything else will stay the same, you know, in certain tickets and stuff. So I don't know, even mine's gone up by 7%, and I pay ass, but you know, so.
Yeah, but it's not everyone can afford them, Kev.
Exactly. So that's why I got 8 other lads involved in my tickets with me.
Yeah.
So there's 8. That's what you have to do. There's 9 of us involved in our tickets. So you know, it's not just my tickets that I'm going to pay in this kind of money every year. No.
It's everyone's circumstances, as Kev alluded to, very different. Yeah. Well, but it's we'll do plenty of shows in the future about that as well. Hopefully, we do see. The main thing is just we want just transparency from every single football club. If it just honest, and as you allude to, Kev, it's difficult when you are sat around a table in a boardroom full of multi-billionaires and millionaires who are not used to getting told what to do or a bit of criticism, because in their line of work for numerous years, their whole life, they've surrounded themselves with yes men. They are very successful at what they do. They've got multi-billions and trillions or whatever they've got, but when they buy into the football, I think there will come a tipping point in the next 5-10 years where everything just erupts really in terms of the prices, because they just keep on taking the absolute mickey really in certain football clubs in terms of just the financing of most things as well. But we'll speak about that in the future as well. Well, Kev, massive thank you for jumping on, mate. Legend. I will see you tomorrow as well. Looking forward to that. But chat, we'll be doing a watch along tomorrow.
Helia just asked a couple of questions and sort of marked down at the end there just before you go, not leave them high and dry. So, that one, yeah. Well, hospitality tickets for us is 6,000 a season per seat. So you can imagine that's 6,000, that's like 20,000 euro a year that we have to spend. So when people come out and say, like, you know, I'd love to, if I could have the opportunity to take a normal seat, dude, and just pay, instead of paying £900 a year, I'd pay £920 a year. I take it, you know, because that's where I'm kind of down to. But we're going up by 7%, and each year it's going to go up by a few percent for us for the next 5, 6, 7 years. So, and then we're actually adding more tickets now so that we can actually have more room for our families. So it's nuts. And when you think of it, that's a lot of money. We're paying double what the price of a normal season ticket is per season, every quarter. But the first year we had to do it up front.
If every football club had its way, it'd love you as a customer, Kev. And the average Joe really that is happy to get the average season ticket.
Yeah, the problem is the corporate hospitality, because we're real fans that are buying them together. The problem is the corporate ones.
I just don't like any hospitality. But the thing is, if there's I think it doesn't matter. Everyone's different in the world. Everyone can afford certain stuff, and everyone can not. But yeah,
because if you go by that, so like let's take it this way with the corporate hospitality. We're not corporate. We're just normal hospitality. So we just buy our seats. We go to the game every week. Some of the corporate hospitalities that buy them, they buy tickets. They never go to games, and then they give them out free to these Egypts that come along and don't have any clue about the football club. And then these same Egypts get cup final tickets before regular fans. Whereas people like us doing it, we're paying more money for our season tickets, but we still deserve, you know, for us, we deserve that. The corporate should be taken out of it.
It's when you see it on social media, like you see a TikTok from an Arsenal fan that is a Liverpool game. Like, what are you doing? Like, that should have been a supporter, but it is what it is. Thing is, with sponsors and all that, and that's a whole other show for itself, but sponsorship in the finals as well. But that's how the clubs make all these millions, but would be nice to be transparency.
I know if I'll be there from 12 o'clock, buddy. If you're around, you'll find us down the back of the pub. He's just asking me if I was in the 12th man on Sunday. So I'll be leaving Jack's at about 25 past 11, I'd say, on Sunday morning, and I'll get up to Anfield then and I'll pop in there. We'll all be in there. Right.
Yeah, so Kev, just I know Panov doesn't have social
Yeah.
So Panov, just meet him at the front. I'll tell you.
Yeah. Just I'll be there. We'll be there around 12 o'clock having a beer, man. You want to pop in the door? You can't miss me with the ponytail and the beard. We normally when you go into 12th man downstairs and just down the back there next to the toilets on the right.
Or even wait at the front anyway, or whatnot.
Yeah, I'll come up and meet you at the front.
Just if you see Kev, just pull him by the hair, lads.
That's it, yeah. I will grab you, and then buy me dinner afterwards.
There we go. Happy days. In Danke, it's Danke for now, Jurgen Klopp. The normal one we did, a very special Liverpool way. Big up there, the Red Machine as well. Obviously, all the tickets should be no more than 40.
Yeah, normally it should be that way. We just pay the extra because we have to, because we're Irish. I mean, I'd love to have the ability with let's take it this way. I was 846 or 66 on the list in 99 2000 since 1985, and then when they changed, when they changed the L4 to change it to the L4 postcode, which is rightly so, that more people from that area of Liverpool should get the chance to take it first. But when I'm on the list that long and then I've been knocked down to 65,000 or whatever, this is the only way that I can get tickets now. So we have to bite the bullet as Irishmen over here and buy hospitality just for us to see a game. So I would love to have the ability to be in the L4 postcode and get the tickets at the cheaper price, but I can't. This is the way I have to do it.
There's just bigger issues at the club, mate, isn't there? But the club, not just Liverpool, but most of these Premier League teams just don't really listen to even the supporter groups on the boards as well. That's another show. But big old there, Matthias. Cheat day, Kev. There we go. There we go. But chat, we'll be live tomorrow. But for anyone that's going the game tomorrow, or will be plenty of shows in the coming days as well. It's going to be an emotional weekend for everyone. But wherever you're watching it, whoever you're watching it with as well, remember these days we're all doing the next 5, 10, 20 years as well when we recap on Jurgen's time at Liverpool as being a very successful period, one of the most successful periods of Liverpool. As we know, he's turned us from doubters to believers, and let's believe now with Arnie coming in. Keep at it. But Reds, make sure you do head over. So Kev, when will you next be live, lads? Monday.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll go Monday. We'll probably do a show on Monday from like Clap to Slat and see what way it goes. Saying goodbye to Jurgen and saying hello to Ernest, lads. So we'll do that on Monday when we're probably there. So even regarding any of the topics, if you want to talk about it, you can just message me or Jack about what goes on. If I remember cost more. Yeah, of course it does, dude. Yeah, I get it, dude. It absolutely does. You're dead right. I was on the membership for years as well, so it does.
Showing it's another day.
It is. It's not right. It's not right because it's all tiered football. My only thing is that if you take away the ability for companies to have corporate seats, then it gives more room for fans to be in there. No matter, regardless if they want to do it hospitality wise or normal, at least they're all genuine fans and not just being. I see a lot of empty seats there because corporate fellas just don't want to use it and they won't even give them away sometimes. So yeah.
Hopefully we can all win the Euro Millions chat one day. Hopefully. But guys, have a lovely rest of your day as well. Enjoy it. If you didn't work or whatnot, go and smash today. Or if you didn't work at the weekend, enjoy it. Keep safe and well. Kev, see you very soon, matey. And chat, massive thank you for all your continued support as always. If you are new around here and you're watching up until this late on the repeat, smash a like, smash the subscribe as well. Put your bell notification on so you always do get notified when we are back live. But as chat, you've said tonight, or whatever time you're watching, Danke, Jurgen, you're absolute bloody legend.